What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. We got Tuxedo time. This should be a pretty quick episode. This is the SGC sub from my man Pete. If you haven't watched the preview when kind of go over the cards before I send them out, I'll link that up top in the description, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram at Retro Hoop Breaks. I try to preview as much stuff as I can on there. Also follow Collect 3D Prints. Link is in the description for that as well. And that's it. Let's get into this box and see what we got. So again, full disclosure, I know the grades. Pete has a couple of cards in here that are like kind of oddball one-off cards. You guys will see what I'm talking about in a minute. And so he's kind of been following the pop reports. And man, just beautifully packaged by SGC, by the way. All right. Beautifully packaged by SGC. We know the grades to these already. I don't remember exactly what they are, but there's one of them in there that really, really hurt our feelings. So we're going to see why. We're going to take a really close look at it. I have my well, if I was a damn professional, I'd have it with me. Here it is. I have my handy dandy little loop thing here, which there's also an affiliate link for Amazon in the description if you want to pick one of those up. They're a godsend. I love them. Really gets you close in there. Like I said, I know the grades. Obviously, y'all don't. These boxes are awesome. Also, I don't know if they fit. What do they fit? They fit raw cards in there pretty well. I don't think they fit. No, they don't. No, I mean, you can kind of stick like top-loaded cards in there, but they won't work. So yeah, I know the grades. You guys don't know the grades, obviously. But like I said, there's one of them in here that really like hurt our feelings. And of course, this is from my man Pete. So we're gonna break out the shields and put them in plastic every time we put one out. So so start off with the see, I like their thick slabs. This one got an 8.5. I love their thick slab. Here, let me see if we can zoom in a little bit better. There we go. I like their thick slabs where the memorabilia stuff goes in. They're pretty dope. Just because I think the slab itself isn't any thicker than a regular slab. It's got this little indentation here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got this little ridge out here where like a 30 point, 100 pointer, 150 point card would go in there. Yeah, so 8.5 on this one. Again, Pete didn't really expect like really high end grades on any of this stuff, just because a lot of this is just PC stuff that he wanted to get slabbed up. This one's got a pretty gnarly little nick on the corner, some edge wear on the front and on the back. Card is not the greatest of shape, but what is interesting about this card is this is a jersey patch to 80, and it's a pretty low print card, early patch autograph cards. I mean, RPAs and stuff like that are almost a norm these days, but we're talking 2001, 2002, where patch autographs weren't as common as they are these days. Here is another one. This one got a 9. This one, if you guys remember the other one that we did, which was the Kareem, I think it was Kareem that we did, he had a matching Olajuwon card. So pretty dope there. Again, we're talking about 05, 06 autograph cards, numbered, early examples of a Hakeem Olajuwon autograph card. Pretty dope there. Now this next one, my man Pete had some doubts because he didn't feel like it was kind of the authentic just because of the autograph. But it came back a 9 authentic, and it is in fact a Olajuwon autograph. So again, 0102 die cut card, which is already pretty tough to keep in good condition. You guys know my pet peeve is when people say, oh, it's hard to grade. No, they're not hard to grade. They're just hard to keep in good condition because there's so many edges, so many corners that you have to keep up with. So to get a 9 on this old of a die cut card is pretty good. So I can see some corner wear, some edge wear, some imperfections and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, good card. I think this thing's awesome. I think this next one is going to be the one that hurt our feelings, so we'll leave that one to the end. Here's the 8.5 on the Magic Johnson signature styles. I mean, these are just, my man Pete out in Aussie land has got some heavy hitters when it comes to these early examples of autograph, low numbered cards. Pretty dope, man. 8.5 on a card like this is, to me, is still a good. It's a 15-year-old card, autographed. I mean, that's still a good, not a bad gig. This one got a 7. Again, we're talking 99 2000 piece of material. Hakeem Olajuwon. I remember looking at this one specifically and thinking that it had some issues. It's got some smudging and stuff on it. A couple little nicks here and there. I mean, I could definitely see where this one got a 7. Those edges and those corners were pretty... I mean, they weren't the worst, but I could definitely see how and why this one got what it got. There's just some... like, whenever you really look at them under a microscope, you can really see some of the imperfections. But again, just another example of these early cards, early patch, early auto cards that, you know, just to have one and have one in good shape and get it slabbed up for the PC is pretty dope. And then finally, 98.99 Upper Deck Superpowers Quantum, numbered to 50. You guys can see that. 45 of 50. I mean, this is just, you talk about early examples of a low print, short print card. Man, this one, man, for this one to have gotten a 9. Yeah, again, man, these die cut cards, guys, you know, it's hard enough to keep 4 corners sharp, but once you get into a die cut card, depending on how the card is cut, you're now talking about, you know, multiple edges that you have to keep from getting nicked up. And this one's got some nicking up at the top. That's a pretty white corner there. Edge is pretty bad on that one. This back edges, I mean, the back edge on this one's not the greatest. But once again, you're talking about a card that is essentially, you know, over 20 years old, and there's only 50 of them, right? And it just happens to be one of the greatest basketball players in the modern era of basketball, Mr. Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, so we'll get into the oddball card now. You got so here it is, right? So we got a 10 on this checklist, right? I know what you're thinking. Why in the world would you grade a checklist? Well, it's pretty simple. the card that I was telling you guys earlier that my man Pete was a little bit sketched on was this one here. Okay. We're number 1, Olajuwon authentic autograph. And in his research, the only place that he found that particular card, this one here, mentioned or documented was in this very checklist. We're number 1, Hakeem Olajuwon. So here, we're number 1 auto. So there it is right there. So there's 4 of them, 5 of them. Man, that Kwame Brown would have been a cool one to have too. Anyway, this is the only place where he found it to be documented. So when he found this card, he grabbed the checklist, wanted to get it slabbed as even further proof that this is in fact an autograph card, an authentic autograph card. And it just lends to the credibility of the card itself. So I know it's kind of an oddball to get a checklist printed or get it slabbed up, but it got a 10. I was telling Pete when he sent this to me, he said he goes, man, I never got my hands on the card itself. I'm having it drop shipped to you from another guy in the States. So just kind of take a look at it and see what you think. And I was like, you know what, it's actually in pretty good shape. And it got a 10, so pretty dope there. Now here is I don't know how or why this got the grade that it got, because both myself and Pete, when we saw the grade on this, we were astonished. I don't know. I'm looking at the card itself. I don't really see anything other than some chipping. Now this one got a 4. And again, both me and Pete scratching our heads trying to figure out. Oh, I see it. I see it. Up at the top there. You guys might be, look, there it is right there. You see that right there? That is a wrinkle in the card. Goodness, man, that's a big old wrinkle too. Petey, we might have to have a talk about that, brother. I don't think you would miss something like that. And I don't think I would have missed something like that. Hopefully you have some pictures of this before we sent it off to SGC. We could potentially have a situation where this card was damaged at SGC. Yep. So the card itself definitely deserves a 4. Whether or not this was something that was done beforehand, or it's tough to tell, man. Because I mean, unless you do some like if you look at it like this, it looks great. If you look at it like that, that's kind of where you start seeing the wrinkle. You see that big old? It's almost like it got wet or something, and it's like a wrinkle in the card. Anyway, Pete, we'll chat, man. We'll see what's up, but it's definitely a 4, my brother. Jeez, man, such a beautiful card too. Again, this is another one of these scenarios, right? Early card, 2006, 2007, very low numbered. Hakeem Olajuwon, signature styles, SP. You know what's odd about that is that this crease is only on the front, which tells me it's got to be with it's got something to do with like it being humid or wet or humidity or something like that. Because it's not on the back. So we'll see. I hate to end on that shitty of a note, but again, just a great. I'll link my man Pete. I'll link his channel in the description. He's got a channel where he strictly talks about and collects Hakeem Olajuwon cards. He's got some. I mean, the type of collection that you could just be absolutely jealous about in a good way. But you guys check them out if you get a chance. I think it's called The Dream Collector. on YouTube. You guys can check them out there. And that's pretty much going to do it. Now, I will say one thing is that, you know, with SGC getting super busy these days, obviously there's an influx of orders that are coming their way because of the shutdown with PSA, because of the just the long, drawn out, you know, delays with HGA. You know, it's getting kind of, they're getting bombarded pretty good. So I'm going to do another video on SGC, just kind of talking about the current state, where they're at, some of the orders that I have with them, some of the things that I've seen with them. And I'll post that video just as an overall. They did a really awesome thing for the for this upcoming national, which I thought was great. So you know, we'll get into that stuff, but that's gonna do it for this tuxedo time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with your people. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group. Also, there's a subreddit, and all the links and everything's down below. The link to Collect 3D Prints, the link to Card Hedger, and a bunch of other places that are supporting the channel. So if you want to use those services or anything like that, use those links, and that helps me out. So again, I appreciate everything. I love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.